The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, and Newy Scruggs.
Here we go on a Monday. The season is over, everybody. It's over. The Cowboys are a 6-10 football team. They will draft 10th overall in the 2021 NFL Draft in April. I'm Newy Scruggs, longtime Cowboys reporter, joined by two former Dallas Cowboys players, safeties Danny McCray and Barry Church. Gentlemen, how we doing today?
Y'all want me to go first, man? Hey,
Don't everybody talk.
Y'all know how I'm feeling, man. Y'all know how I'm feeling. I'm highly disappointed right now. But hey, you know what it is, man. It happens. It happens to the best of us, man. So I'm ready, man. I'm waiting for y'all to go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and start this thing off.
Well, listen,
go ahead, man.
Listen, let me tell you something. I'm not happy that the Cowboys didn't win because I did pick them to win, following Nostradamus again. I don't know how I let them convince me again. I just didn't want to lose to them. But, I'm not happy that they lost. I'm kind of wishing they were in the playoffs. But, me and my guy knew it wasn't going to happen. So I'm glad I was right and I get a free meal out of this. So, listen, all is good this week.
Church, I'm not going to jump on you, man. I'm not going to do it. I'm not. Because this is bigger than you. Church, this is bigger than you. I mean, you tried to have TB. True believerism. That's what you tried to have. And it comes from, it's a line that comes from the movie Primary Colors. And it was basically based loosely off Bill Clinton's life. And the guy jumps on board the campaign. It's played by John Travolta. The guy's name is Jack Stanton. So he joins Governor Jack Stanton, and then he's sitting there believing, the speech. He's like, yeah, man, he was talking about Uncle Charlie's, and then the consultant looks at him and says, oh, you got TB. He's like, what? He's like, you got true believers. You believe everything the candidate says. You believe every message. You believe every story. And he just lets him know, hey, man, look, it's just not the way it is. And, Church, you tried to have true believerism in what the Cowboys are doing down the stretch, and you were thinking that Mike McCarthy was going to turn around and that the defense. You tried to, and that's okay, man. But at the end of the day, to me, and I'm going to ask you both this question because this is one of the biggest things that I had here. Who did Mike Nolan's defensive scheme make better? Name me one or two players that this scheme made better for the Dallas Cowboys this year.
Well, go ahead, Danny. I'm in last place, so I'm gonna go ahead and give the floor to y'all first, man.
Well, yeah. Well, listen up. Hold on, Newy. Before we get to that, I'm gonna hop on Church for because what he did to us last week when he got that dub, he went on for about 15 minutes about how we don't hop on the bandwagon. I told you I don't want to hear nothing about this next week. I can't wait. I'm getting a steak with some lobster, and I don't want to hear nothing. Newy, Danny, y'all been flip-flopping all this other stuff going on Twitter, talking all crazy. This was Barry Church last week. He had his NFC East championship hat on, said they was going to get another one. Hey, Church, where's that bottle of Kool-Aid that you had? Did you finish it?
It's empty, man. It's empty, man.
Oh, man.
It's empty.
Watermelon flavor?
Brother.
I mean, they said I guess they didn't smash the watermelons before that game. I don't know. But, Church, I want to tell you this, man. I feel bad for you. And as soon as the pandemic is over and these vaccines start flying out, I will meet you at Nick and Sam's. That's on Maple, right there in Uptown, and we'll sit at the bar and we just order up a bunch of stuff. All right, don't you worry about it, man. I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna take care of you, but I'll make sure the tab don't go too high because I know at least I can get a steak and lobster because that's what you said you was gonna get. So I know I can at least get that with the heavy butter.
Am I able to respond? Am I able to respond to this, Newy? And Danny, can I respond, man? First, I'm gonna do that first point, man. You're gonna have to catch me first if you want that Nick and Sam. You're gonna have to catch me. Second, man, look, man. Second, I'm highly disappointed, and this is what happens, man, when I take nicknames away. When I take nicknames away from people, and I vaunt them up. I put them up on a pedestal, man, because you know what? That's what happened to me and my boy, the Red Rifle. I'm not going to take it away. I'm not going to give him pistol. I'm not going to do that to the man because he put us in the position to even get to this point. So I'm not going to take the nickname away from him. But boy, do I realize now why he's up out of Cincinnati. I mean, look, man, the first 5 years of his career up there was a reason they went to the playoffs. But when he got to that big moment and everything was on the line, I mean, he folded like origami. And the same thing happened this afternoon or last afternoon against New York Giants. I mean, the man looked bad out there. He didn't look as bad as DiNucci, but he looked bad. And I'm not going to sit here and say he had no protection and he was getting killed, because he wasn't. There was times when he had time to throw the ball and he was just missing his receivers out there. And it ended up costing us in the end. It ended up costing us in the end. Our guy that's supposed to lead this team to victory, he just didn't show up. And that's what happened in this game. And we were able to go ahead and go home, man. And it hurts, man. It hurts me to my soul. But dang, that's what I get for backing them boys. That's what happens.
He looked especially bad in the first half. The first half, yes. The ball was all over the place. I couldn't get what was going on. But like you said, you gave him his Red Rifle and he let you down. So I'll find you.
He did.
I'll find you. Don't worry. Like, I'm gonna find Newy too. And listen, Church. Don't, you're not the only one who owe meals around here, all right? So I'm not gonna since Newy didn't really want to go in on you like that. I gotta take a jab at him too. You owe me some food as well, since you're gonna let Church off the hook after he went so hard on you last week, so hard. But you want to be the bigger person. I got it. It's a new year. It's a new year.
See, I'm older than you guys. I've seen this story so much, okay? I've seen this so much that, it's like going to watch an Adam Sandler movie and you leave there and you're like, man, that was a bad movie. But I could have told you it's going to be bad. It's what it is. I said that Washington was going to win. Ultimately, that all of it wouldn't matter, that Washington would win this game. And Philadelphia not only delivered it, they tanked the game away. So it would have been, I'm looking at this thing, hey, fine, the Giants won. Cowboys got the 10th pick in the draft. I'm good with that. More so than just the disappointment of yesterday, because we've seen this a bunch, okay? I've seen this a bunch with the Cowboys. I want to go look at what, not so much what was. To me, it's about what will be. What needs to happen is you got to fire the defensive coordinator. Got to fire the defensive coordinator.
Yes.
I'm telling you, right, who did that scheme make better? Who? And right now,
I'm still looking.
I can't name anybody. Right, I can't name anybody. So if your scheme didn't make anybody better, you got to go. And here are the New York Giants, team that's struggling to score 20 points week after week. They get 20 in the first half. This guy's got to go. He's got to go.
Newy, man, I missed the time for a perfect joke. Ask that question one more time and I'll give you an answer. Ask that question one more time.
Who did the scheme make better?
Every offense that we played against. That's who they made better. Antonio Gibson came through here and ran through us. Baker Mayfield came up in here. Odell was throwing touchdowns. Listen, if you name an offense besides maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers, they came in here and they had record days on us. So yes, everybody that we played against.
Right, and so for me, when I think about what will be, Mike McCarthy's buddy has to go. Okay, you tried the friend thing, it didn't work, and not just him. It's going to be coaches, positional coaches on the defensive side of the football too. You want to tell me these linebackers got better with this new linebacker coach? Because they didn't.
No.
Okay,
look at the secondary. Look at the secondary.
The cornerbacks, the safeties. Was anybody teaching? I mean, you guys played the position. I don't feel like anybody was being taught back there. You got dudes looking around. It was terrible. So your secondary positions got to go. D-line, was the D-line any good at all? And I understand they had injuries, but still, I've never seen a Cowboy defensive line so bad, being gashed so much. It was a bad scheme. So if you're going to legitimately bring in a new coordinator, as I believe they should, that new coordinator should be allowed to bring in some people who can implement his type of defense and coach the way he wants. And this whole thing where Mike was trying to use this scapegoat thing of, hey, man, there's a whole bunch of new coaches and we're just trying to figure each other out. There's no continuity amongst us and we still learn each other. I don't want to hear that bull job, because Cleveland did it. Washington did it. I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
Yeah.
They got to fix his defense. I mean, this needs to be priority one. Dak Prescott's priority 2 to me. The defense is number 1. Because if you sign Dak Prescott and you bring back Mike Nolan, I'm sorry, it's going to be what he was when he left. You're going to have to win games in shootouts. You've got to fix this defense, and it starts with the coordinator, fellas.
Go ahead, D-Mac.
Yeah, I don't like that excuse of the coaches are new and working together and all this other stuff. Didn't get a chance to really know each other. Me and Barry can go out right now to a high school team, and we can input cover 2, cover 3, and cover 4 without ever having to meet or talk one-on-one to teach how we want the safeties to play or the corners to play, and we can get these players to play that defense. All right. Now, when it comes to like making tackles and doing all that stuff, I don't know. But as far as getting them to learn the basic scheme of cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, we can do that without any meeting. And we've never coached. These guys have been coaching. When you see the secondary out there blowing simple stuff like cover 4 and cover 3, that is not on the fact that the coaches haven't been able to work together. This is just specifically the individual coaching, in my opinion. So that excuse doesn't fly with me.
Yeah, I think you're totally right about that one. I mean, it can't fly that our defensive coaches, especially in the secondary, because that's what I look at most when I'm watching the games. I look at the secondary, and for those amount of times that we've seen busted coverages or simple coverages like Danny said, cover 3 or cover 2, and guys just aren't getting their hands on them to jam at the line of scrimmage. I mean, these are elementary type things that you should learn in high school, and you just fine tune them as you get older. But to go into the NFL and be in cover 3 and let a guy just run right by you, we've seen that too many times busted coverages. Our linebackers, I mean, do we have to go back to that Baltimore game to where we've seen our linebackers look dazed and confused? And that was just one of plenty examples of our linebackers looking confused out there. And then the D-line. I mean, I don't even know where to start with the D-line. It just seemed like we didn't get enough production out of them. It didn't seem like they were beating one-on-one blocks enough. And it just didn't seem like they knew Mike Nolan's system to stop the run. And to me, it's got to start at the top. And Mike Nolan's the top right now. He's the top of the DC right now. I think we have to let him go. And like you said, we got to bring in a new guy that has his own guys come in and implement his game plan and his philosophy on this defense. And I think that's the only way we get better, because it's going to be hard to hit on each and every draft pick we do defensively. It's going to be hard to hit on all of them. So we're going to have a good coach to back that up. And I just don't think Mike Nolan's it.
And Church, let me hype you up a little bit, just a little bit. I believe that you may be onto something with this Neville Gallimore thing. All right, he's made enough splash plays this season and his spots, and the opportunities that he's had. He's made enough splash plays to where I think if you get a good defensive coaching staff around him, good D-line coach, and a scheme that fits what he does the best, I think that you may be. I don't know about superstar, but he could be the next mainstay in the Dallas Cowboys defensive line.
When you look at a Nevin Gallimore and Tristan Hill, these are guys who can help you. That you're going to need a rotation of guys, okay? And so there's 2 guys who are controlled cost, because that's another thing you got, especially if they sign Dak Prescott, you're going to need controlled costs with guys there. And maybe you spend some money on a legitimate big-time free agent up front. Maybe you even invest a top 3 draft pick in one up there as well. Beef it up. But they've got to make some improvements. But guys, you and I both know, unless you get some coaches in here and get some teaching, it really won't matter who you put up front. If guys are out here confused and they're not bought into what's going on, think about it. You had Tank and Everson Griffin. They didn't buy what was going on. Tank Lawrence today spoke to the media. He didn't exactly give out a ringing endorsement of Mike Nolan, nor should he. Your $20 million a year player was not put in the position that he needed to be put in. And that, to me, is shameful. At the end of the day, your job as a coach is to cover up the warts. If anything, Mike Nolan exposed warts and poured alcohol on the damn thing. It was embarrassing. I just can't sit here and express to you enough of just how offensive watching Mike Nolan's defense was this year, because of the way this guy was just so stubborn trying to make these guys play his scheme. And I'm mad at the head coach because the head coach lied to us because he said players over scheme, players over scheme. No, your boy came in here, put in his scheme, and told everybody, you all need to go figure it all out. And you know what? They didn't figure it out. And by the time they did figure it out, it was against some bad teams. And then Mike was trying to sit up here and cover for his boy Nolan, and they trying to act like, oh, we good. No, it was a game you had to win against the New York Giants, and that defense came out there and gave up 20 damn points. In a must-win game.
Listen. And it should have been more because JG had he called a heck of a game, and you had Evan Ingram out there dropping all type of passes, and Danny Downs was missing stuff, but Evan Ingram, he dropped 2 passes that probably would have continued drives and put more points on the board for the Giants. So it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. And look, I think, I know Mike Nolan, he's done a terrible job. I will say that he's done a bad job as a defensive coordinator for our team this year. But we're also going to have to get some better players now. I mean, those guys, they weren't out there, it wasn't like they were lighting it up out there as well. I mean, I know the scheme was bad, but sometimes, if you're that good and you're getting paid that much, sometimes you got to overcome the scheme. And a lot of those players, they weren't able to do that. So, I mean, we do need some better players as well on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, and also, listen, how about this as a defensive coordinator? Can you get out here and tell some guys that they need to play a little bit better? Or can somebody tell Jalen Smith, hey, man, stop all this swiping, bro. You need to start, just cut the swiping out. I mean, can somebody at least just tell, man, this just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. I mean, nobody's saying anything at all, man.
Hey, Newy, check the tape, man. Just check the tape.
I guess the owner ain't tripping, right? If the owner ain't tripping, I mean, wow.
Oh, man.
Look, people pile on Jalen, and I get it, but just some of the things I'm looking at as a coach, does somebody not, you guys played the game, does somebody not come and tell you in the film room, what are we doing here?
Nobody's being held accountable.
Is anybody locked in? Hey, man.
His teammates should have been told him that. They should have told him that after the condom commercial. But listen, do you think that I think at least out of 2 of the 3 levels of the defense, secondary, linebacker, or defensive line, I think you've seen the disadvantage of not having a true veteran player with veteran leadership in those rooms. Because if you look at the secondary, there's not a true veteran leader in the secondary. There's not a true veteran leader in the linebacker room. It was Sean Lee, but he missed almost the entire season.
Yeah,
and then on the
he didn't
D-line,
play enough.
Yeah, then on the D-line, you got Tank Lawrence and you got who was it, Alden Smith as the leaders in that one. But 2 out of the 3, you don't even have veteran leaders out there. And you see those were 2 of the 3 that were really, really struggling throughout the year.
Danny, let me hop on your point because I had someone else tell me this who worked in the NFL. When they went to a different team and they brought their defensive scheme, they ended up bringing a player at each level from their former team to where they went to, and they said it helped out. And then that staff ended up moving on again, and they didn't do it at the next stop, and it hurt them. It hurt them. And I'll give you some of the names in the break. I don't want to put it out here just because I don't have permission to put it out there. But I'll tell you in the break who exactly I'm talking about. All right, when we come back, talking about what will be for this 6-10 Cowboys team. What will be? Kellen Moore is back. Let's dive into the 3-year contract extension that the Jones family gave him to keep him from coaching at Boise State. Right here on the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Hey there, Cowboys fans. With Tide Cleaners at-home pickup and delivery, cleaning your clothes has never been more convenient. Simply sign up at your local store, set out your dirty clothes, and one of our Tide Cleaners professionals will come directly to your home for a totally contactless experience. Your clean garments will be returned promptly the next scheduled delivery day, so skip the errand and enjoy life, not laundry. Visit TideCleaners.com or your local store to sign up for Tide Cleaners at-home pickup and delivery today.
Just like all of you, we at SeatGeek can't wait until we're back in the stands at full strength cheering on the Cowboys and singing along to our favorite songs again. We're using this time to make discovering, buying, and selling tickets to events in Dallas easier. Plus, every ticket purchased on SeatGeek is protected by our buyer guarantee, which means you'll get your money back or better if your event is canceled. Guaranteed. Download the SeatGeek app today, and when the time is right, let's go. SeatGeek.
The Cowboys way. where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like, where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day, where we are all defined by one single thing, the star, where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
We're back with a tasty treat that's sweeping airwaves and taste buds. It's new Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda. Let's take a listen.
Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda's here. A new combo that's music to my ears, okay. Let's play. Cream Soda and Dr. Pepper time. Pour it in a glass of ice.
Ah, music to my ears and mouth. New Dr. Pepper and Cream Soda.
A delicious duet.
Back to the Players Lounge.
AT&T continues to innovate new ways to connect Cowboys Nation with new and exciting game day experiences, including StarView presented by AT&T 5G, available in stadium and for home use. Download the Dallas Cowboys mobile app and look for StarView under the Stadium tab. You're back here in the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com. I'm Newy Scruggs, longtime Cowboy reporter, joined by 2 former Dallas Cowboys players, Barry Church and Danny McCray. Fellas, when you were also talking about this, not having guys who can help teach your system, some veterans, I go back to the first year I covered Phil Jackson's Laker team in L.A., ended up winning the championship. He brought in John Sally. Sally was with the Bulls on a championship team, and John Sally's job was to teach Shaquille O'Neal the triangle and understand exactly what Phil wanted from it. And then they brought in Ron Harper. Ron Harper was out there teaching Kobe Bryant exactly what Phil wanted and how they wanted to go about things. And so, you need, when you're trying to implement a scheme, you need some people who understand it. And I guess Aldon Smith was the only dude who understood it. And by the way, was Aldon Smith even on the team the last quarter of the season? Because I barely saw him make any plays, but there were just so many mistakes that were made. And I thought Mike McCarthy, he was supposed to be up in that barn in Wisconsin and had this big old plan about everything he was going to do. Man, I'm wondering, man, was that just a lie? What y'all really do every week? Because, man, I'm just disappointed as the Cowboys finished up here 6-10. But Kellen Moore's back. Okay, over the weekend, I found out you guys had sent me the text. I can't remember what I was doing, but I got the text from you guys that Kellen Moore's back. 3-year contract extension, not taking the job at Boise State. Troy Aikman basically said on the broadcast that Kellen was offered the job and took it, and then somehow the Joneses got to him, and voila, here's Kellen Moore back. In a move we have seen the Cowboys make before. Sean Payton was offered the Raider job, and somehow Jerry convinced Sean not to take that job, and he gave him $1 million raise. Mike Zimmer was his coordinator, and they convinced him not to take the Nebraska head coaching job, gave him $1 million. So this is not something that we haven't seen Jerry do before. Jason Garrett offered the Atlanta Falcons and Baltimore Ravens job, the job that John Harbaugh has now. They paid him $3 million to stick around and stay. So this is a move the Joneses have tried before. 2 times, they saved themselves because, look at what Zimmer and Peyton have become as far as head coaches, and they gave the job to JG, and JG did win an NFL Coach of the Year, so they have had some success doing it. Go ahead, McCray.
So who was calling plays yesterday? Was it Kellen? You guys believe Kellen Moore was calling plays yesterday?
It was Kellen Moore.
So how many times did Andy Dalton, because I said this before the game, if they have Andy Dalton come out here and try to throw the ball all around the field and not get a ball to Zeke, we are going to lose. I think Andy Dalton threw the ball 47 times yesterday.
47.
Yes. And Zeke had 47
rushes. 14 rushes. Zeke had 14 rushes, man. Andy was the lead rusher.
How many targets did 19 get yesterday? I mean, we could do this all year. It's been the same thing all year. You go out here playing the New York Football Giants, all right, and you give Zeke the ball 14 times, tell Andy Dalton to go out there and throw a 47 and expect to win. That's why you lost. That is the top reason why you lost.
I just don't understand, man. I don't get it, man. How many times this year have we thrown the ball over 40 times and it resulted in an L? I mean, it's been too many times. So we're going to go into this last game. It's basically the playoffs. It's basically the playoffs between a division rival. You got the Giants over there. You're visiting them. It's cold outside. The elements are not in your favor to throw the ball. But yet, we go out there and throw the ball 47 times. 47 times in a ball game where we were never down more than what? I think we were down at the most. Was it 20-7 at one time? Or was it 20? Oh, it was 20-7 at one time.
I believe it was 27.
Cooper had nine targets, by the way. Cooper had 9 targets.
Cooper had 9. So that's decent. Why are we throwing the ball 47 times? I understand Zeke had a calf issue and all that, but you got Tony Pollard there, who 2 games before that had one of the most explosive games he's ever had. So why are we throwing the ball that much? I just don't understand. This is not the Mountain West. This is the NFL. This is not Madden. You can't just go out there and throw the ball 100 billions of times and become one-dimensional. We're not that good at the quarterback position, and we're not that good as a team overall to just be one-dimensional and throw the ball over the yard like we're Tampa Bay or like we're somebody or we're the Chiefs or something like that. We're just not that good. Our defense actually took the ball away and gave us short fields. And what did we do? We settled for 3 points. To me, it's just, I don't understand why they gave him the bag and why he continues to play it like this is Madden or this is Mountain West where they throw the ball all over the place. I don't think we'll be successful if we do that. Maybe we implement a new game plan next year when we get all our guys healthy and back. But overall, I just think it was not a smart game plan, and the game didn't dictate us to throw the ball 47 times. It ain't like we were down an immense margin where we couldn't battle back with the run game as well. I just don't understand it, Kellen. Don't get it.
And Church, clear it up. Hold on. Amari Cooper getting 9 out of 47 targets is not okay. I don't care. That is not okay. You threw the ball 47 times. You got a $100 million guy out there who is clearly your best route runner and best playmaker, and you target him 9 out of the 47. Makes absolutely no sense. And then we got 88, who had a nice season. But we got another opportunity with him getting the ball in a big time situation. This time he dropped it. The last time it was like 4th and 3. He runs a 2-yard route and we get stopped on 4th down. Get the ball to 19. It's not that difficult. If you're going to lose with 19 and 21. Not when Andy don't throw the ball 47 times and not with 21 having 14 carries. That ain't the way that you end the season. No excuse. And you know what happened? Kellen Moore went out there and he tried to outdo Jason Garrett, and then he got outdone by Jason Garrett. And that's why he ended up throwing the ball 47 times. Don't make no sense. Jason Garrett did what? He did exactly what we said he was going to do: run the ball. Gallman, no matter what he did, they were going to continue to give the ball to was it Gallman and Alfred Morris. It's like so. I mean, you got outdone.
Look, I had somebody in the building tell me that the Joneses really like Kellen Moore with that same passion that they liked Jason when he was calling plays, and that same passion that when Sean Payton called plays. And there's this whole belief to make sure that they never allow another Sean Payton to get out of the building.
So should Big Mike be worried? Should Big Mike be worried?
No, I don't think he should be worried, but just, they want to make sure that they do not lose an offensive mind, that they do not end up the way Daniel Snyder has ended up, that he once had Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan in the building, and they got away. So I'm just telling you, this is what I was told when I asked for just, hey, give me some more, give me some more insights on this.
McCray. And McCray, we've seen this story play out before. We've seen it play out before. Our rookie year, man, we were scoring about 10 points a game for the first 6 games. Wasn't really going that well. All of a sudden, there's a coaching change. And then all of a sudden, we scoring 30 points a game. Yeah. I mean, the offense exploded. So we've seen this story happen before, man. I'm just saying, Big Mike, keep your head on the swivel.
Listen, and before we go into break, because I want you to think about this, and somebody answer it for me, because I asked it before. I want to know, what is Mike McCarthy's job description? What is it during the week and on game day? If you ain't calling defenses, you ain't calling offenses, you ain't calling special teams, you ain't calling for challenges, what are you doing on the sideline? I need to know what the job description is, because I literally thought that he was going to snatch the play sheet this upcoming year and say, hey, man, that was Kellen, but I got everything that I've been working on. This is what we're going to do next year. And instead, he's going to do the same role that he had this season, which was sit out there with the card and let Kellen call the plays, and then, everybody call their own stuff, and, then ask him and take up for him in the press conference. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Hey,
y'all can answer after. Please.
Yeah.
Please.
Let's hit that break. We'll come back to our SWBC Mortgage Virtual Home Studios right here on the Players Lounge on DallasCowboys.com radio.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Want to show your Texas and team pride too? You can. By purchasing your own Stetson, you can look just like how the flag guys do on field at every home game. Stetson hats, the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys, and your favorite football team.
Get yours today at shop.dallascowboys.com or at stetson.com.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hey there, Cowboys fans. With Tide Cleaners at-home pickup and delivery, cleaning your clothes has never been more convenient. Simply sign up at your local store, set out your dirty clothes, and one of our Tide Cleaners professionals will come directly to your home for a totally contactless experience. Your clean garments will be returned promptly the next scheduled delivery day, so skip the errand and enjoy life, not laundry. Visit TideCleaners.com or your local store to sign up for Tide Cleaners at-home pickup and delivery today.
Back to the Players Lounge.
All right, everybody. Cowboys Nation, celebrate the Cowboys commemorative season with 30% off the entire 1960 collection. Plus, the Pro Shop has a huge selection of CD Lamb jerseys to celebrate his record-breaking rookie season, cold weather gear, and more deals for every fan. Visit your local Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop or shop at DallasCowboys.com for the best savings on your new gear today. You know what? They need to throw some 86 jerseys in there because Dalton Schultz had himself one fine season. For a guy who was a backup player, Blake Jarwin gets hurt the first game. That young man had a very good season, had 7 catches, 70 yards yesterday. So, Dalton Schultz, I salute you. Had a heck of a year. I did not see that coming.
Neither did I.
None of us.
Neither did I.
We all were in agreement that the lights might be too bright for Mr. Schultz, and he proved us all wrong. So good for him.
Yes.
That's big time.
Real quickly on this, real quick.
He caught up good. Yeah.
Should Jarwin be penciled in as a starter, or is there going to be a competition?
He should still start.
Jarwin?
Yeah, he should. He should still get the start. I mean, they're probably going to run a lot of 2 tight end set. Well, I don't know what Kellen's going to run. I'm not going to.
Yeah, you never know what Kellen Moore. You never know. You never know.
I mean, the thing that and you guys know this from playing. You come back a year after the ACL, it's a little different. So, if anything, they've got the opportunity to have 2 tight ends who know the system and understand what to do. And so I think if you're the Cowboys, you're in a really good position. They may want to upgrade from a blocking tight end standpoint to see if they can do, improve there. Or maybe Sean McKeon, the kid from Michigan, is a little bit stronger and better with a full offseason next year. But they definitely need to get a more of a blocking tight end in those 12 personnel packages. But you at least know you've got two guys who can catch the football at that position, and you can most likely leave it alone draft weekend. That's my thought process. That's one area of the football team that I don't think that they need to necessarily dive into and say, hey, we need to address this. I think they're going to be pretty good there. I like the 3 tight ends they have. If you want to add Blake Bell or bring him back, that could possibly be 4. So I like the positional strength there. The Danny you were asking before, okay, what does Mike McCarthy do? That not challenging that Pettis catch, that when I'm watching the game, I was like, Danny's in my head right now. Danny's in my head. What are you doing? And then to hear the lame bull jive excuse afterwards that, we thought saving the timeouts was important. Like, what? What do you mean saving a timeout? I mean, burn it. You're trying to win the game. Burn the damn thing, man. And if you lose go from a 1-point game to 3, I mean, yeah, man.
And if you lose the challenge, you still have the 2-minute. You still have the 2-minute as an extra timeout. So I mean, you're really not losing anything by losing that challenge. But they get the field goal or whatever. But you're not losing a timeout. So I just don't understand why he didn't challenge it. But doesn't he have guys up in the booth that are supposed to say, you know what, hey, this is a solid call to challenge, or this is I'm not sure about this one. Like, doesn't he have people to help him out do that? Like, I just don't understand why he didn't refer to them.
See, we were lied to once again, Church. I go back to this. We was in the barn doing all that, right? Had the whole staff around us. He was going to bring an analytical team. So he was supposed to have all this. He was supposed to bring all this to the Cowboys. I'm bringing you y'all about to get all this info, all this. No, it's terrible, man. I
think that he did bring those. I think he brought those guys. And then, it's a lot different when you're on the field than versus when you're in the barn. All right. And they got on the field and they couldn't do it. So I think a lot of times this year, Mike McCarthy has taken a bullet for some of the people that he brought here to help him out and do this analytics thing and help him try to run this team. But that excuse with the timeouts and then talk about it as a bang, bang play. Well, that's what a challenge is for, right? Because the ref might miss it because it's a bang, bang play. That's why you're supposed to use it. You're not supposed to use it when it's only when it's clear and obvious. Now, if you think that they made the wrong call, you go out there and you challenge it. Everybody saw it. I mean, I think everybody that was watching the TV, everybody sitting on the sideline saw it, and one person didn't see it. So, I mean, confusing.
Now, see, Danny, you bring up bang, bang play. I don't know about you, but years ago, I thought there was a bang, bang play at Lambeau Field where Des Bryant
don't you do it, Newy,
for a first down.
Don't you do it.
That looked like a bang, bang play.
Oh, man.
And Mike McCarthy threw out the challenge flag. So I'm just trying to think to myself, once upon a time, in a game you were trying to win, you thought, bang, bang play, I don't know. I'm not going to just let them get on down there and get some position. And no, he said, I'm going to start, use it up. I mean, I understand wanting to keep challenges and have timeouts, but not in that situation. And you sure enough saw what they did. They ran on out there real quick. Kick it!
That should have been another telltale. That should have been another telltale right there. When the special teams unit comes sprinting onto the field and gets ready in record time to kick a field goal, that should put the red flags up. Hold on. Let me throw this red flag. Hold on real quick. Man, it was just too many signs out there, and my boy blew it.
But Church, to make it even worse, they went fast. But they weren't doing like a Mayday situation. You had time to sit there and see it and make the decision. It was, like the kicker still took his steps, went to the side, picked the grass up, made sure it wasn't flowing, and then he kicked the ball. I mean, you had time. We all had time to question, like, are they going to do it? I heard Aikman on the broadcast, like, I think they're waiting for, I guess that they're not going to do it. The confusion was all over the place.
And this goes in. Todd Archer of ESPN.com, who does an excellent job covering the Cowboys, he wrote a piece about this. Through all year long, the different game management questions you had about Mike McCarthy, it's like, what are you trying to do? I mean, it started with the first game against the Rams, where he decided, hey, I'm going to go for it instead of kicking a field goal and make it 20-20. So it started game one, and so it started bad and ended bad. And you just say, I don't understand. You're going to sit up here and try and tell us that, in a 4-point game in the fourth quarter against Washington, going for a fake punt at your own 24-yard line is good. It's just so many things. And I have to say this. He's a worse game manager than Jason. Okay, and we all, there's a bunch of us, we all said, man, with Jason, it can't get no worse. You know what, it got worse. Talk about the right man knows defense. Y'all can't get worse. You know what got worse. Talk about special teams. Y'all can't get worse. You know what? Dude, did it get better? I mean, there's just so many things about this season of 6-10 that I just feel so let down about. Because I was boo-boo the fool out here drinking the Kool-Aid, talking about 11-5 season, that Mike McCarthy's going to be so much better than Jason Garrett. And you just watch this guy, he was run out of Green Bay. He's going to show you, he's going to be like Andy Reid was in Kansas City, bouncing back strong. No, I just look stupid. And I'm mad about looking stupid here. Okay? Mad, I bought in. I got food.
Hey,
that's
poetic. That's poetic. You know who sealed the stupidness feeling for you? Jason Garrett. Ain't that something? You went out there the last game, buddy. And who sealed the fate? My man JG sealed the fate on that, man. Listen, it's okay.
Now I'll tell you this. I'm not mad about that. Okay? I'm not mad about that. I mean, you guys know I was on Team Tank at the quarter end of the year. Give me a high draft pick as you can, because going to the playoffs and going to the playoffs and getting worked over. I mean, to me, when I think, what do you ultimately want, guys? You want a Super Bowl. This, even like Washington, this ain't gonna be no Super Bowl team for Washington. So you made the playoffs, fine, but you're going home. And even if you beat a miracle win, no, it ain't gonna be no miracle win because they barely beat Philadelphia. The only reason they beat Philadelphia because Doug Peterson quit. No, get yourself a high draft pick and try to use it, trade it, maneuver it. I mean, this team needs to improve. And once they sign Dak Prescott, I can't emphasize this enough, fellas. The draft picks are going to become something that they have to hit on, and it will become the way you can keep prices down that you can afford. Because the Cowboys are darn near about to become one of those 80-20 teams where 20% of the roster making 80% of the cash. It's just going to be what it is once you pay Dak. And until you cut some people, I mean, this is going to be what it is. So they got to hit on these picks, and you've got higher picks up here. You might be able to make some moves, trade around here, and see what you can do. And by the way, Church, yes, Justin Fields looked good, which means Justin Fields will not be there at the 10th overall pick. So you can stop. You can just stop with the Justin Fields dream, okay?
Yeah, I'm done with the dream, man, because like I said, he looked amazing in that Clemson game. He looked amazing out there. He wasn't just good. That boy was great. But anyways, like you said, he's going to be gone. He's going to be gone before we get a chance to pick him. And I don't even think any of the top three, Fields, Lawrence, or the kid from BYU, I don't think they're going to be available for us to pick. So we're going to have to sign Dak Prescott to some ridiculously huge deal. And it's going to kill our cap. And it's going to end up killing our defense unless Will McClay and those boys over at the scouting department hit on at least 4 of the 7 draft picks. And they got to be defenders, and they got to hit on at least 4 of them, or we're going to be chasing 8-8, 9-7 all over again.
Listen,
well, you got a first, you got a second, you got 2 threes.
I'm not trying to hit it. Listen, Church on this Justin Fields, I'm not going to hate on the man. He looked very good. Ohio State quarterbacks, history of them, I'm not sure how they do in the league, but I'm going to tell you this.
Right.
The Notre Dame Fighting Irish did the exact same thing to that Clemson's defense. Remember that early in the year, they did the same thing to that Clemson defense. So let's not act like they was out there playing against world beaters. Clemson has been shown up against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who got, like you said, trashed by the Alabama Crimson Tide. All right, so Justin Fields, he's still a nice player. I still wouldn't give him up for Dak Prescott.
Stephen Jones was on 105.3 The Fan today, the Cowboys' official radio home here in Dallas-Fort Worth, and emphasized once again that it is going to be Dak Prescott's team. He even spoke about wanting Andy Dalton back, but understanding that Andy knows it's Dak's team. And I don't think Andy Dalton will want to come back here, on another low contract like that. He'll probably go someplace else. But the whole Justin Fields thing, it's not going to happen, nor should it happen. This is going to be about Dak. And then after you sign Dak, you got to figure out how do you maneuver contracts. Please get the contract done as quickly as you can, Jerry Jones, because the window is now open. The Cowboys can now start negotiating with Todd France, Dak's agent. Now, you cannot let this thing go all the way in April or June or July. They need to start signing some free agents in March, and they may not need to sign them on day 1 or 2, but they need to be able to bring in some guys really at all 3 levels, if we're honest. They need to bring in a defensive tackle free agency. They need to bring in a free agent safety. They need to bring in a free agent linebacker. I mean, they do. They need guys. You guys talked about some veterans. They need guys at all three levels. And depending on who the defensive coordinator is, if this defensive coordinator can bring in some guys who've either played his system or he's coached, then that could help the Cowboys as well. They've got to fix this defense, fellas. And the only way you can do it is if you got Dak signed, because once you sign him, then you could give him a low contract, the way they spread that bonus money out, and you're not locked into $38 million. So getting the Dak thing done to help fix your defense, that's really, one goes with the other, guys. Are we all in agreements, though, that they need to throw a TNT bomb into the secondary room? Or can we be in agreements on that? No one could cover Sterling Shepard. No one could cover Sterling Shepard out there. And there's no way anybody can convince me Sterling Shepard is a top 15 receiver in this league. Maybe not even top 20. And nobody can cover this guy. He had a shot at Jordan Lewis. He had a shot at Anthony Brown. And he had a shot at Taymon Diggs. And couldn't none of them hang with him. And he's not a top 20 receiver. So can we please be all in agreements here about, we need help in the secondary. We need it badly. You need help, but I'm not blowing everything up. I gave you my guys the other day that I'm keeping.
Yes,
Newy wants to keep the whole room.
No, it's some guys that I would keep too. No, yeah, I'm on your side. I would get rid of some guys. I think mainly you got to get some new coaches in there teaching some new stuff. But yeah, Church, you're not gonna get rid of Diggs, Anthony Brown.
I told you my guys that I'm keeping are Wilson and Diggs. The rest of them
out of there.
I don't know, bro. Not going anywhere. Brown's locked
in as a contract, but as we've seen,
so Darian Thompson is not going anywhere. I mean, here's another guy who's not making, so you do need.
But I'm talking about guys that play.
That start. Yeah.
Yeah, like
he needs to be
Woods
redone.
is gone.
It needs to be redone.
Woods is gone. Okay, Woods is gone.
Woods is gone.
Jordan Lewis is gone. Those guys I would not bring back. So we're
that's basically throwing in a grenade. Yeah, that's to me because I'm talking about just the starters.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I'm talking about just the starters.
I agree with you. I agree.
Okay, I thought we all said that. The previous show. Those guys are gone. Okay. Those guys are gone.
Okay, yeah.
And so you go ahead and you're going to fix. That's why I talk about signing a free agent safety, and I think of signing a free agent safety to go along with Donovan Wilson. Veteran guy. So that's what I'm talking about. Brown. I said the other day. Brown is my number 3 corner. Is good. I'd like to get another starting corner in there alongside Diggs. That's what I'm thinking about. Mm-hmm.
A veteran guy. They need a veteran guy.
A veteran, and even using a draft pick on a guy. I mean, so that's where I'm thinking. And then of course, the D line has to get better because the back does not work without the front. This front's not doing anything to scare anybody, to pressure anybody. So, of course, these guys, you're taking guys who are already not good. Now there's no pressure on them. They're getting torched. That's what you get. That's why you make a Sterling Sharp look like, Jerry Rice Jr. So you got, that's why I can't emphasize enough of why Mike Nolan needs to go, and they need to bring in a whole group of staff to teach, because this is what happens when you're as bad as they are. A Giant team that couldn't score 20 points upon weeks rolls up 20 in the first half. It's tough. It's tough. There can be better days ahead, and that's the one thing I hope Cowboy fans take out of this. You can fix this. It can get fixed. It's not a dire situation.
Look, I'm glad you said that, Newy, because I wanted to end the show off with one last thing to Church, man. Listen, for next year, all right, Nostradamus, for you to get your powers back, somebody turned me on to this book. It's by Gary John Bishop. It's called, look, you see the screen? It says, Stop Doing That SH_T. End self-sabotage and demand your life back. All right, get off the Kool-Aid. Stop hopping on the bandwagon and get the Nostradamus powers back, man. I'm gonna send you a copy of this book. I'm gonna send you a copy of this book, man, and you take this in the next season. All right.
Well done, my friend. Well done. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
So, all right. As we get ready to wrap this thing up, producer Chris Bean, tell me what is our schedule now going forward since the season's over here? How does the Players Lounge work?
We're Fridays at 11:30.
Okay. So does that start this Friday?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so our next show is this Friday at 11:30. Let's take that show and dive into what you'd like to see for the 2021 Dallas Cowboys offensive line. I've got a plan. I want you guys to have your plan, how we remake this offensive line and what we'd like to see. Let's do that on Friday. Players Lounge. I'm Newy Scruggs. It's Danny McCray, it's Barry Church, for our producer, Chris Bean. We appreciate you checking us out right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?